Hi, and welcome to the Improved Garage YouTube channel. So today we are going to be coating over the top of the PPF on my 2024 Mini Cooper Clubman. So this car has paint protection film on the front hood, front bumper, roof, and rocker panels. The rear of the car is already coated. I'm going to be using G'Techniq CSL or Crystal Serum Light that I'm holding in my hand. And I'm going to then top the CSL with EXO. When you're doing this, you want to be wearing gloves. It's not good for your skin, and you want to make sure that you don't get this on your hands. To apply the coating, I'm going to be using these CarPro foam pads with CarPro suede applicators. And you kind of put a line of the ceramic coating on the suede applicator, and then you use the foam pad to put the coating onto the paint using a crosshatch pattern. So going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then up, down, just like when you're polishing a car. And you do this to make sure that you don't end up with any gaps or spots that you miss. And you want to do a small section of the car at once. So for something like this hood that I'm working on right now, I will divide this out into probably 6 sections. So the right rear, left rear, center rear, and then front left, front right, center front. And when you apply the coating, you're going to be waiting for it to flash, which is when it kind of turns hazy. And then once it does that, you'll be able to remove it with a towel. The towels that I use for this are the CarPro Pearl. I'll put links in the description for all of these products so that you know what I'm using here and you don't have to pay attention to them as I'm talking. But we're just going to do this one section of the hood here. We're going to allow it to flash, and then we're going to buff it off with our towel. We've waited for our coating to flash and turn hazy. You can see it on the paint. We're going to be using this CarPro Pearl towel to buff the coating off. So to do this, I'm going to be holding the towel flat, just using a quarter of the towel and going over the entire area that we applied the ceramic coating to, as well as some of the surrounding areas. Once I've gone over the area once, I will flip the towel over and use a different quarter of the towel to go over the entire area a second time. So a towel like this will generally last me 2 areas, hitting each one of them twice. And when I'm done buffing the ceramic coating off, the towels go in the trash can. Now we can start our second section of hood. We're going to do the next 6th of this hood. Same method. In this area where we've got some tight spots around the lights, you can turn the sponge on its side and you can use it as a long and narrow sponge instead of a short and fat sponge to kind of get into some of those tight areas. Again, you just want to make sure that you're doing the crosshatch pattern to make sure that you don't miss any spots. If you pay attention to the middle of the hood, you can actually watch it flash on camera. You'll see how the center of the hood below where I'm wiping turns hazy. And once this happens, we're ready to remove the extra coating material with our towel. So we will buff it off again with the towel laid flat using a quarter of the towel. And once we're done, we'll flip the towel over. We'll go over the entire area again just to make sure that we didn't miss anything. And then at this point, we've done 2 sections with this towel, so this towel will go in the trash can. Realistically, with a ceramic coating, you can't wash it out of the towel. The towels will get a little crispy and crunchy, and there will be some particles in them that will inevitably scratch your vehicle or hurt something. So these could be something that you use as oil rags or something along those lines, but you really don't want to be using them for detailing. Now we will repeat through the rest of the hood, section by section, piece by piece, applying the ceramic coating, allowing it to flash, and then buffing it off. If you do find that you have any high spots, meaning some ceramic coating that dried in an area and you missed buffing it off, The trick is that you can apply a little bit more ceramic coating over the top of it, and then you can buff it again with the new ceramic coating that you just applied over it. And if you do it within the first hour after you apply the ceramic coating, you'll most likely be able to level the ceramic coating and get the excess removed. An inspection light like the Milwaukee one in my hand can really help with this. Looking at different angles under different lights in different ways can help you to find the high spots, to look for the haziness, to see the spots that you might have missed, and to make sure that it doesn't become an issue when the ceramic coating dries. If you let the ceramic coating fully cure, you can still deal with it, but you end up having to polish the coating off and then go over it again once you've removed the high spots. We rinse and repeat section by section, going over the mirrors, the A-pillars, the roof, the rocker panels, all of the areas that I need to coat. Like I mentioned before, most of this car is already coated, the doors, the rear, etc., that I did before the PPF was ever installed. Now that we're done, it's time to put our CSL away. It's important that you use the cap that the CSL arrived with instead of using the dropper as the way to seal the bottle. The dropper, for whatever reason, allows air through and the ceramic coating will go bad. So using the cap makes this last the longest and makes it so that it doesn't go bad as quick. Now we're going to top the CSL using EXO. So EXO is a gloss enhancer, and it adds a little bit of slickness to the CSL coating. EXO requires you to wait 1 to 2 hours before applying it after applying the CSL. If you have to wait longer than that, you have to wait more than 24 hours. So you either need to have the CSL be partially cured or be fully cured before doing EXO. So we've got our bottle of EXO V5. This is what is left over from when I did the Mini the first time. The EXO did not go bad because I had the proper cap on it. Applying the EXO is exactly the same as applying the CSL. You put it on the applicator pad, you put it on in a crosshatch pattern, you wait for it to flash, and you buff it off. Very, very simple, works very well, it's easy to level. If you end up with a high spot, use a little more EXO on the applicator, go over it again within the first hour. You should be able to buff it off and level it and make the high spot go away. If you can't make the high spot go away, your only choice is going to be able to polish it. I would use a light polish like Sonic's Perfect Finish or the Coach Chemi Microcut, and that will allow you to buff off the coating. When you're done, you should have something that looks like what you're looking at in the picture. Glossy, bright, clean, and the coating will have excellent hydrophobic protection. So when you're washing, cleaning, the car is just a joy to work on. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video series. I hope that you'll subscribe. I'm going to be working on some other things for this Mini in the future, maybe some performance modifications. But for now, this is all for the detailing and paint preparation series.